So, second day, my son slept in a little bit as per usual, and I decided to leave the hotel and start wandering around the city, which is a really good thing to do, is to have a little bit of time to yourself so you can go to your places that you really want to go to and nobody's looking over your shoulder, whether you're buying too much, eating too much, spending too long looking at one place. So you kind of have to have a balance between how much time you spend alone and how much time you spend with somebody else. So I walked out of the Heritage Hotel. The Heritage Hotel is on 25th Street and it's right between 5th and 6th Avenue. Another name for 6th Avenue is Avenue of the Americas. So I turned left and I went towards Avenue of the Americas, and I started looking for Trader Joe's. I thought, while I'm here and my son is sleeping, I'm gonna go check out this grocery store that we don't have in Toronto. Now it is a little bit smaller than most of the large grocery stores that we have. The stores that we have in my area, most of them are supermarkets. They are really, really big and they sell a lot of different stuff. Trader Joe was more intimate, it was smaller. It had kind of a vintage art look to it. I bought some bananas, bought a Trader Joe bag, and then I stepped out of the store. And then I went and I bought some blueberries from a street vendor because it is good to give business to smaller businesses rather than just big ones. Okay, then I walked up the street to Essa Bagel, still on Avenue of the Americas, or 6th Avenue. One thing that I really liked is looking at the Empire State Building that was peeking over from the buildings. That's another thing that I really love about Heritage Hotel, is that you can see the Empire State Building right over the buildings. It's a nice thing to look at. On the street of Avenue of the Americas, there was also a park with a large obstacle course for kids. So that was something that you don't see every day. And so, of course, I had to take a picture of it. When I got back to the room, my son and I, we ate the bagels. And then we decided that we're going to go to see a baseball game in Queens. Of course, I'd never been to Queens, so I thought it'd be cool to visit it. And also, I didn't want to say no to him. Why not? We're there for 3 days. Let's just do the kinds of things that he wants to do. We went to Queens. We took the subway. To get out from the subway, I was constantly having to go up the stairs, up the stairs, up the stairs. It was so hard. Okay, I'm in bad shape. I've said it before. After we got from the subway, we came right to the stadium in Queens. We bought the tickets, and again, we had to go up the stairs. And once we got up to our level, we still had to walk up the stairs to the bleachers to our seats. I was so exhausted and my legs were so dead that when they came around with $16 American beer, I bought one and I didn't care. And I'm the kind of person who drinks beer about once a year. I mean, I like the taste of it actually, but it's just not something that I buy or drink. I don't need alcohol day to day or ever. So, but this time I was just so hot and tired that I didn't care. I could not go back down the stairs to look for a cheaper water. So the bottle cost me 21 Canadian dollars and I drank all of it. I honestly don't even remember who played, but my son enjoyed it and I enjoyed the atmosphere. It was quite fun. My son got to explain some things to me, and eventually the game ended and we went back to New York. We took a train that was on the elevated tracks, so I could film a little bit of Queens, but not very well because there were so many people and I didn't want to stand there filming the whole time. So just a little bit. I don't know how much you can really see. Hopefully I'll get to visit Queens one day. After we got to New York City, the next thing we did was go to eat at Bleecker Street Pizza. That place does not disappoint. It always, for me, stands up to the hype. Now, pizza is not one of my most favorite things to eat. I'd say that I probably prefer bagels better. But I do enjoy a good pizza slice, and I love Bleecker Street Pizza and their signature pizza. Not only that, but the people, the sellers behind the counter were just the nicest people. I also got a salad and some drinks. I asked my son whether it was the best tea pizza he ever tried, and he said that it was actually the second best, and the best was sometime in Toronto, but they closed. Okay, I'm not sure if I can really trust his opinion there. I can't imagine that a pizza in Toronto would be better than Bleecker Street Pizza, but perhaps that is just his opinion, and I gotta respect that. I just gotta respect that. Third day in New York, the only thing that we had planned was the food tour in Chinatown and Nolita, which was north of Italy. And my son liked that even more than he liked the baseball game. The first place that we went to a place that sold dumplings. While I was waiting for my son to get the little dumplings, I met a lady who was there for her lunch. And this is one of the more reasonable places in New York to eat, of course. So she was waiting in line, and I said to her, sorry that the tour is delaying you. So we struck up a conversation. She told me that she actually lived in New Jersey, but she traveled 1 hour to this area for her work every day. So that is how people live. They can't really afford to live in New York probably, so they live in New Jersey and then commute 1 hour. And I guess even in Toronto that happens quite a bit. These days people commute in Toronto even from places like Shelburne. Okay, I guess you don't know much about that, but the streets where we walked, they were vibrant and active and lots of interesting shops, souvenir shops. There was also murals that depicted racism and bullying directed at Chinese immigrants and citizens, which I never get. I never understand how or why somebody would just go and try to hurt these people that they don't know. I really don't understand. You have to really have malice in your heart of some sort. Is just evil and stupid, I would say, Anyway, that's besides the point. North of Italy, so we basically just walked around the area. We tried another slice of pizza, and then we went to very established type of New York Italian place where we got some desserts. Now that area, the Italian area, Little Italy area, it's not very cheap. There's a lot of fancy restaurants there. After the tour, I actually wanted to go and get some coffee and just sit down, but I couldn't find any place until finally I found this one Christmas store that also sold coffee. And so my son and I, we sat down on the patio. I had some coffee, he had something else, and then we kind of just chilled and relaxed. After that, we visited the Rockefeller Plaza and the Nintendo flagship store. That was for my son. I just bummed around and did really nothing. Just sat around and listened to podcasts. And that is pretty much how we spent the second day in New York. The fifth day in New York, we only did one main thing, and that is go on top of the Rockefeller Plaza. That had been my list of things to do for a long, long time in New York, but I never got a chance to. This time I finally got a chance to go, and I think it was well worth the money for me. Now, I get it. There's only so much time you can spend on top of the building looking at sights, and the price was about $50 Canadian. But there's things in your life that if you don't pay for them, you just won't do them, and then you'll be missing out. Now, I'm not talking about $1 million experiences. Some things are really, truly are expensive, but some things are not that expensive. I've already come to New York. I've paid for the hotel. I've paid for the taxis. I paid for the airplane. So another $50 to see an incredible view for me was worth it. And I really enjoyed it. Of course, the star of the view was the Empire State Building. Anyway, that is how we spent 4 days in New York. I hope that you found it useful, and thank you for watching. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.